So I just came back from seeing the Joker sequel, and this movie really fucking pissed me off, man. I am utterly speechless at the level of disrespect this movie threw my way. Like, low key, seriously. I am flabbergasted. I feel insulted as a fan of the comics, as a fan of the character, and a fan who loved and was utterly manic about the original movie. And the worst part is, it feels like this was entirely intentional. Like, that's what the filmmaker set out to do on purpose and achieved his desired result. The movie feels like it was meant, designed, built to give the finger to the fans of the Joker and especially people who are fans of the original film. Surely, you might say, it can't be that bad. I mean, yeah, I, in my naivety, seeing all the negative reviews coming out of the movie, felt initially the same way. People were calling it utterly atrocious, and I felt like it must be an over-exaggeration. I'm like a sort of internet chasing clout, trying to be popular, trying to stand out, trying to stir the pot, trying to get clicks, that sort of thing. I took note of the bad reception at the end of the day, I did, and I modified my expectations. I expected something mediocre, something confusing and convoluted maybe, something that was faulty in execution, something that would take me on a ride that would not be perfect, but still offer some fun. Hell, at the very least, I expected to see good ideas at the heart of a poorly executed film that would make the movie at least somewhat a passable experience. But I was wholly unprepared for the level of ball kicking this movie would subject me to. At its heart, the movie is not poorly executed. It's not poorly made. It's well structured, follows a concise and clear vision, and that's the problem. The movie does exactly what it sets out to do, and it executes its vision perfectly to a T. The problem is the vision itself. The ideas behind the movie are awful, which is exactly what made me feel not disappointed but insulted at the end. But let me elaborate a little bit. You know, you remember how the first movie took a loser protagonist and perfectly set up his descent into madness, taking you on a perversely satisfying journey where by the end of it you were rooting for this despicable main character to go all out crazy. In that, in essence, was the birth of the Joker, the sick, twisted, and sadistic persona. You remember how that was the entire point of that movie, to set up the evolution, or devolution depending on the point of view, of Arthur Fleck, the person, into the origins of the arch-villain we all know and love. Well, this sequel does not develop further or build upon that legacy. No, it instead chooses to go backwards and deconstruct that. What was previously achieved in the previous film was utterly deconstructed, systematically undoing every good thing it managed to achieve. Sure, the movie makes some weird choices, it decides to include numerous musical numbers, and they sometimes drag on a bit. You are left wondering what the point of any of them was, but I, sitting through them, I thought, hey, I can live with this. I can live with this piece of artistic weirdness, because I was expecting the movie to give me what I wanted by the end of it, to give me Joker going crazy, doing Joker things, setting up his next stage in his growth and evolution into the force of evil we all know him to be. And the movie had all the right ingredients to make that happen. The relationship with Harley was intriguing. I felt like the movie capitalized on what the previous movie established well to set the relationship up. The Joker being this contrarian and infamous figure that became a symbol to the misguided but disenfranchised people living in the slums of Gotham was a theme throughout the movie and was used as a springboard to bring Harley into the story, explaining why she was so obsessed with him. The fact that they made her sort of a megalomaniacal figure who in essence was obsessed with the Joker and wanted to use him as a gateway to fame and success for herself was interesting and cleverly done. The movie does some things right. It does. And I expected that to go places. Fleck's infamy being a reason behind all the other inmates in Arkham revering him was touched upon in the movie, and I thought the movie would use that to go to other interesting places. And then there were the prison guards who constantly tortured and abused Arthur, and I could not wait to get to see them get what was coming to them, expecting a similar moment like the death of Murray in movie 1. Sort of all the right elements were in place. Joker's cult status, Harley's obsession to enable him and spur him on. All of that looked like he was on a trajectory to further embrace the Joker persona and take it to the next level. I was expecting to see him go full Joker by the end of it, to see his maniacal persona take off to new heights and serve us something truly despicable by the end, the next stage in the evolution of the clown prince of crime. But no, the movie instead has the protagonist give up. Yes, that's right, he just gives up right in the middle of the film. He gives up on Joker, calls it a sham, devolves back into the scared and pathetic man he was in the beginning of movie 1. He gives up on malice, vengeance, spite, and hatred. He lets go of everything the Joker character is and what makes him the Joker character and what made him a satisfying character in movie 1. He has the chance to escape, but willingly turns himself in, intentionally letting go of his cult status icon, not capitalizing on it, gives it up willingly. Harley Quinn dumps him. Yes, she dumps him. And in the end, a random character comes out of nowhere and kills him. In the middle of a hallway, he just dies to the soundtrack of Frank Sinatra's That's Life, and that's how the movie ends. And that is in essence why I felt the movie was so goddamn insulting. It felt like the filmmaker was intentionally going about undoing every single element that worked in movie 1 and that people loved. I felt like he really didn't want to make a sequel, but the studio made him do it, so he was dead set on making sure no third movie could ever happen. You loved his ascension to the role of the Joker in movie 1? Well, this movie is going to undo that. He is no longer the Joker. The movie explicitly tells you the Joker does not exist. You thought his cult status and his relationship with Harley would facilitate the rise of a permanent and powerful villain? Well, nope, he gives that up, and his girlfriend dumps him. Yep. You loved his character and his sadistic rise. You like his character development and were invested in his story. Well, he's dead now. We just killed him. In the most random and anticlimactic way. Just because. And that felt like the movie giving me a huge middle finger as a fan. You love Joker well, everything you loved about it, we're gonna shit on and fuck up. Fuck you, have a nice day. Don't waste your time on this movie. Don't hopefully sit there through all the long and boring musical numbers, hopeful that the movie will at least give you a good story at the end. It won't. It does not want to. What it wants to do is take your love for the original and crumble it up into a ball before throwing it into the trash bin. It will not only give you something unsatisfying, it will purposefully insult you and piss you off as a fan. Don't put yourself through this and don't waste your money on this film. This type of filmmaking should not be supported. If the director really didn't want to do a sequel, he should have just had the balls to say no, instead of taking a paycheck and serving us as an audience this shit. Instead of insulting us as fans, skip this hard and don't support it with your hard-earned money. I implore you.